Hi, welcome to identityweek.net. I'm Evie Kimsing, our editor. Today we're continuing our transformative industry interviews by talking to Viky Manaila. I've met Vicky on numerous occasions at Identity Week Europe. You're going to be attending again this year, where you're going to be speaking on our dedicated panel for this Transformative Women panel about the issues of inclusion, but particularly what it means in the technology space and the identity space. Um, so it's really great to speak to you today. You're, of course, the president of the Cloud Signature Consortium, and you've really worked hard on advocating for this kind of use case within the EU wallet ecosystem. So it's really interesting to speak to you today. First of all, would you mind kind of introducing yourself, your experience, of this industry is vast. Um, what what do you think inclusion plays? What role does it play in the ecosystem today?
Sure. Thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me for this interview. It's always a pleasure to interact with Identity Week. It's such a good environment to meet the peers or people that are not necessarily experienced in identity, but they want to find out more. About myself, I'm, as you said, president of Cloud Signature Consortium, an international organization trying to standardize the way the mobile digital signatures are generated. And at the same time, Trust Services Director for Intesi Group, an Italian qualified trust service provider based in Milan, delivering all sorts of services according to eIDAS regulation. My professional background is in physics. You may be surprised. And I have also a master's degree in cryptography and digital signatures, digital identity. So I have started this journey a long time ago, like 20 years now. It sounds a lot, but during this time lapse, there were so many changes in the technology and in our daily interactions. First, offline, then online, that if I look back now, I'm still amazed about this journey. It was really interesting and challenging, especially as a woman dealing with cryptography back in 2000. I still remember meetings, important meetings with customers, with high level roles in different multinational organizations. When showing up at the meeting, they ask, okay, thank you for attending this meeting, but we expected to have someone from your technical team with you. And all the time I had to convince them that I'm very skilled in what I'm presenting and what I'm proposing to them. And that was not easy. But now the perception changed a lot. And I think this result is as an effort, a common effort across the globe, trying to promote the equal treatment between women and men, especially in the technology field.
And we've spoken on this series about a lot of complex technologies, really, where, you do get this, it might not be the same today, but you get this, reaction, and especially to women on, oh, really, do you work on these technologies, which are so, they really require a huge amount of experts to bring them to, especially with all the regulation background. Um, is this what we're seeing across the board, especially with the European wallet? It's It's such a all sorts of parties are involved in that. Do you think there's real diversity in kind of the groups of people working on the wallet to then provision a wallet which is, achieves privacy for all, security, all those parameters of inclusion?
Well, definitely, I think we have a very well balanced group of experts working on EU digital identity, but not necessarily at EU level, but also outside EU. As you said, is a very complex ecosystem because we don't talk necessarily only about identity. Identity is touching transversal all the industries, be that financial or legal or insurance or business to customers or governmental services. They all, at a certain point, need to verify certain pieces of our information. Need to that is not necessarily fully identity. There are assertion about ourselves. So trying to build this ecosystem is really the hard work. Because all of them should understand and perceive the value of the proposition. They should understand how their lives in the online world are improved for their customers, balancing at the same time the risks and the liabilities, and having a seamless user experience. And when we talk about user experience and how we should design services or build services, we always have in mind the customers, the users that are ourselves in first place. And here, definitely, I think women are more have more empathy, and they perceive certain flavors that could improve that user experience. So having women in your team, not necessarily with very high level technical background, is a win.
Definitely. And then, you've got the product, which, should be privacy and security, thinking about all those factors. Do you think we've seen a vast adoption of those technologies? Are men adopting it faster than others? How is adoption playing out between the genders?
Well, we cannot talk yet about vast adoption because, as you know, the European digital identity wallet is in its first period. We are working in the large-scale pilot to implement use cases and to test them using testers, citizens with not necessarily a background, a technical background or skills. They should be able to download the wallet, to start using it as we speak. Yeah, so I cannot say definitely men are more eager to digital novelties than women. Yeah, it's something that we should follow in the coming months. So the first large-scale pilots will close the projects soon by summer this year. The second round will start after that, building on top of the existing use cases. There are surprising experiences, and I encourage everyone to stay close and to follow, to monitor what is happening. Already countries are issuing national wallets, not yet certified as the EU Digital Identity Wallet, because we know the certification program is not yet ready. But looking at Italy, for instance, that launched back in December last year, in less than 1 week, they had skyrocket numbers, like 4 million people downloading the application. So people are eager to have a tool that will save their time and will ease their interaction with public administration and public services at a fingertip.
And as you say, we're kind of watching the space as kind of the
Yes,
pilots continue and these technologies are brought to the fore. Yeah, brilliant. And you mentioned there that, there's lots of roles within the ecosystem. You don't have to come necessarily from a technical background to work in this space, or,
absolutely.
and could you give us an idea of kind of what roles are out there and, how can you work in this space if you're not haven't got a technical background. Really, this should empower lots of people to kind of work in the industry, even if they don't want to, you know, um, be an expert in the technical side of things. There's different roles to play in regulation, and we see this at the event where, lots of sort of people come to Identity Week. What's your view on that?
For instance, let me give you some example. I think uh, one of the most important background for the ecosystem is the legal one, because no matter how good we are building services, how seamless they are, those services must be adopted and implemented by relying parties, by the banks, by insurance, by public administration. They have to understand that the service offered the same legal value as what they had in the past, based on paper or other ways of verifying identity or verifying attributes. So you work to have a service, a new service that is fully compliant with the regulatory and technical requirements. But in the end, the legal team must assess and give okay to it. The compliance team must understand and accept the new service. So these roles need awareness, and not only as a profession role, but also as a citizens, because we must trust a new tool that is provided by the government in first instance. In the coming years, most probably we will see also private providers for the wallet with different solutions, with different value propositions. So citizens needs to understand the value, the fact that they are in full control of their data, what was never the case before. All their transactions are secure, are privacy preserving. So nobody is watching what they are doing through the wallet, with the wallet, with whom they are interacting with whom they are exchanging their information. And this requires a lot of work of awareness and education of the market. Looking back, talking from my experience in the field of digital signatures, I think I spent more than 15 years trying to educate the market on different levels of electronic signatures, how they need to make a decision which type of electronic signatures they will choose. And we were talking only about three options. Now is an entire ecosystem that integrates players and stakeholders and roles. We have governments, we have public administrations issuing credentials for citizens. We have relying parties using, so companies that are verifying, providing services to citizens based on the interactions with the wallet. So it's huge. And I expect to need a lot of effort specifically on this. So don't talking not talking necessarily about the technical stuff, not at all, just the very basic. We'll need a lot of communication.
When we say the ecosystem is it's huge, it really is. There's so many different
Yes.
roles in it, and this should inspire the next generation. Really, hopefully, to move into those parts of the industry. Um, this has been it's been great to speak about this. Finally, how do we kind of encourage retention of women in the industry? Anyone who wants to work in the industry. It's a huge question, but. I suppose we're looking at diversity, and we're going to be speaking and addressing the industry in June. But how do you think we can improve that, and what kind of points are you going to bring up on that panel?
um, so thinking about the speed that everything changes in this field, you can imagine the amount of time you need to devote to keep up with these technological evolutions and also with regulatory changes, because we have the regulation, the European Digital Identity Framework, but that will have different implementing acts, a lot of implementing acts. Then when we narrow down at member state level, they will have, each member state may have some additional decrees, national decrees to regulate that. So only thinking about keeping up with the regulatory and technical evolutions will require a lot of time and dedication. Now, going back to women and how they can cope with that, because we know we have other duties outside our workplace that we have to keep balance with. Is really challenging, but I think if you don't love what you are doing, if you don't feel passionate about what you are doing, you cannot excel and you cannot keep the pace with all these changes. Um, of course, the workplace should help women and should encourage them to take this journey. There are different ways of doing that. Starting from the flexibility of work program, continuing with supporting them through mentorship programs. Networking and collaboration is essential. And here, I don't necessarily think about networking and collaboration within your company, because those roles may be limited, but trying to build your network will help a lot. Having peers with the same passions or the same background or different background from whom you can learn a lot. So surround yourself by people that are better than you. That's my mantra because then you will grow up and you will have the opportunity to learn more and to improve yourself, and it's very rewarding.
Yeah, we can all learn from everyone around us. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've explored flexibility. These are all really important aspects of inclusion, really. Mentorship. Yeah, I really look forward to seeing you in June and watching this panel and actually meeting loads of the women and people I've been interviewing for this series because that's where we can see, real collaboration, and that's one avenue for it. It's been really great, Vicky, to catch up. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.